One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth.
It's intense. Caitlin Clark is off that shit now. She let it all slide the first year. They was pushing her and all that. She like, you know what?
I'm in here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here. And this is what it's gonna be this year.
Caitlin Clark finally stood up for herself. No more staying quiet.
Most newcomers ease their way into the pros testing the waters, earning minutes, and quietly building their reputation. But Caitlin Clark, she skipped all that. She burst onto the scene like she owned it from day one, with logo range threes, and passes you have to watch twice to believe. Clark didn't wait her turn, she took center stage the moment she stepped on the court. Her impact wasn't subtle, it was seismic. Even Larry Bird took notice. Yes, the Larry Bird didn't die a legend and Hall of Famer, a man who usually lets his silence speak, felt compelled to speak up. And when he does, the basketball world stops and listens. His praise wasn't just flattering, was a moment in history, because what Caitlin Clark is doing goes beyond a hot start. She's reshaping expectations and redefining what's possible in women's basketball. Her presence has turned routine matchups into headline events. From NBA stars to legendary coaches, everyone's watching and reacting. Clark isn't asking for attention, she's commanding it. This isn't your average rookie campaign, it's a movement. Caitlin Clark isn't catching a wave, she is the wave, a spark, a game changer. And the landscape of basketball might never be the same. She's not just showing up under the lights. She's changing the temperature of every arena she walks into, on and off the court every time. Caitlin Clark steps onto the court. She pushes the boundaries of what we thought a player could do. Some call her the future of the sport. Others say she's already its biggest star. But one thing's crystal clear. This isn't just a hot streak. We're witnessing a moment that belongs in the history books. Long before the record-breaking nights, the triple-doubles, and the chase for three-point glory, Clark did something truly rare. She made the world care, not just basketball junkies or sports networks. She drew in the voices who shaped the way we talk about sports. So when Stephen A. Smith, one of the loudest and most influential names in basketball media, brings up Caitlin Clark, unprovoked, it's not just a segment, it's a signal, a shift in the culture, because this story isn't just about numbers or buzz. It's about a player changing the game right in front of our eyes and making sure we all pay attention as it happens.
I totally applaud what Caitlin Clark is doing. She's putting the WNBA first. She's saying, yo, we matter first to me. We should matter first to the ladies.
Stephen A. Smith, outspoken, no-nonsense voice of sports media, isn't quick to hand out compliments. But when it comes to Caitlin Clark, he didn't just approve, he applauded. And it wasn't just about her logo range threes or stat sheets. What impressed him most was her mindset. Clark plays with poise and purpose, but it's the way she carries herself off the court that's turning heads. With every interview, every press conference, she speaks with a clarity and confidence that demands attention, not just for herself, but for the entire sport. She's not just performing at the highest level, she's elevating everyone around her, and that message is hitting its mark. Even the NBA's media giants are taking note, and the global spotlight, it's already on her. When someone draws comparisons to Magic Johnson, that's not just praise, it's a statement of impact. Magic didn't just change how the game was played, he changed how it was shined by fans, by broadcasters, by the world. Now, he sees that same transformative spark in Caitlin Clark, not just as a scorer or a passer, but as a leader, a game changer, a history maker. This isn't just another rising star, this is a defining moment in sports, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of it.
Joy, I love it because, to your point, they dominated in college. And
as you both did.
Yes. And then they brought it over to the WNBA, just like we brought it to the NBA. We changed the NBA. They changed the WNBA.
Yeah.
When Magic Johnson speaks, the basketball world listens. So when he compares Caitlin Clark's rise to what he and Larry Bird did for the NBA back in the 80s, that's not just praise, that's a generational passing of the torch. Magic sees what's happening. He sees how Clark thrives under pressure, how she commands every moment, and how her presence is doing more than lifting her team, it's lighting up an entire league. She's not just playing great basketball, she's shifting the entire landscape. Clark is pulling in new fans, drawing record-breaking attention, and bringing serious money into the women's game. She's not standing in the spotlight, she's expanding it. So when Magic, a man who helped turn the NBA into a global phenomenon, says her impact mirrors one of the most game-changing eras in sports history, that's more than a compliment. It's a statement. We're witnessing history in motion, and he's not alone. Coach Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, the architect of 5 NCAA titles and 3 Olympic gold medals, said he'd love to have coached Caitlin Clark. That's a big moment. This is a coach who's worked with the greatest: LeBron, Kobe, Durant, Curry. He's seen the top tier. And even then, he sees something extraordinary in Clark. Because it's not just about raw talent or flashy highlights. It's about leadership, influence, the ability to shape a team and an entire league around her presence. When the legends of the game look at Caitlin Clark and see the future, it means one thing. She's not just making headlines, she's making history.
Yeah, well, she's terrific. And it'd be easy to build something on her because she's the best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer, and she has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better.
Yes, the deep threes and highlight plays get the headlines. But what truly impressed Coach Mike Krzyzewski wasn't the flash, it was the feel of Caitlin Clark's game. It was her passing, her awareness, her ability to control the flow without ever forcing the moment. Coach K called her a magical passer. And from a man who's coached some of the game's all-time greats, that word carries weight. Because in this case, magic isn't just about racking up assists. It's about seeing plays before they happen. It's about timing, vision, and an instinctive feel for the game that can't be taught. It's the difference between running an offense and elevating it. Clark lifts her entire team with her presence. She doesn't just play the game, she orchestrates it. So when Coach K says, "I would have done exactly what she did," he's not just offering praise, he's giving a full-throated endorsement. He sees in Clark what he's seen in legends like LeBron, Kobe, and Curry: leadership, poise, and a next-level basketball IQ. And it's not just coaches taking notice. Luka Doncic, MVP contender, All-NBA mainstay, and one of the most gifted players in the league, doesn't hand out compliments casually. He's not chasing headlines or viral clips, but when asked to name his favorite women's basketball player, he didn't pause, he didn't play coy, he just said it: Caitlin Clark. That kind of recognition from a player of Luka's stature, it's not handed out. It's earned through talent, respect, and undeniable impact.
Who's your favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Just one name. That's all Luka Doncic needed to say: Caitlin Clark. And that says a lot, because real recognizes real. Luka knows what it means to enter a league with pressure and still take over. So when he names Clark without hesitation, it's not just praise, it's respect. He's not part of WNBA media. He's an NBA superstar, speaking from instinct, and that makes his words matter more. Clark's game clearly translates. Her impact goes beyond highlights. It's felt by the best in the game, and it's not just players taking notice. When Colin Cowherd places her next to names like Tiger Woods, LeBron James, and Taylor Swift, he's not talking stats. He's talking about people who shift culture. Caitlin Clark isn't just in the spotlight, she is the spotlight.
Angel Reese is a good player. She's not a phenomenon. Tiger was. LeBron was. Taylor Swift is. Caitlin Clark is.
This isn't a slight toward Angel. It's about highlighting just how rare Caitlin Clark truly is. Phenoms like her don't just show up, they change everything. They fill arenas, blow up ticket sales, and turn ordinary nights into must-watch events. Caitlin isn't waiting for the WNBA to catch up. She's pulling the entire sport into the spotlight in her own terms. When Colin Cowherd groups her with legends like Tiger Woods and LeBron James, he's not talking about what she might become. He's talking about the impact she's already making. Clark doesn't just step into the spotlight, she owns it. But being the face of a league isn't easy. The attention brings pressure. Every play, every word, every look scrutinized and dissected instantly. Her fire fuels her greatness, but it also paints a target on her back. And like Michael Thompson pointed out, sometimes that pressure isn't just from opponents on the quartet, comes from the system itself.
That flagrant foul that she committed the other day, I thought it was a hard foul. I didn't think it was a flagrant foul, but I think they do that, Dan, because they overreact to everything Caitlin does. Is they don't want to show like they're showing any favoritism to her. So we got to upgrade it to a flagrant foul, because if we don't, then people say, well, we're protecting her by not upgrading it to a flagrant foul. So I think that's why the referees overreacted in that play.
When Michael Thompson, a former NBA champ and father to a rising stars, speaks about Caitlin Clark, he's voicing what many are feeling but might not say aloud. Caitlin's under an intense microscope. Her spotlight doesn't just shine on her skills, it magnifies every move, every moment, and the fear of appearing biased, it's actually creating a new kind of bias against her. She's held to a higher standard, not just by critics, but even by the officials on the court yet. Despite it all, she shows up game after game, carrying that pressure like it's just part of the routine. Because when you're changing the culture, people often don't know how to handle it. But Caitlin, she does what she does best. She just keeps playing. Then there's Jeff. Teague is straightforward, no filter, and brutally honest, no media spin, no rehearsed lines, just real talk. And when Caitlin Clark's name comes up, he skips the usual hype and tells it like it is.
Like, if you being real, what do Angel Reese get that Caitlin Clark don't get? Why would she hate her?
Let's be honest. What does Angel Reese have that Caitlin Clark doesn't? Why is there so much negativity aimed at her? Jeff Teague isn't trying to fan flames or create drama. He's pointing out the real issue, the constant comparisons, the pressure, and how two talented stars who should be teammates in growing women's basketball are instead cast as rivals. What Jeff calls out is a clear double standard, a narrative that twists every story into a competition. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just keeps doing what she does best, showing up, playing at an elite level, and facing criticism simply because she excels. Teague isn't knocking. Angel Reese's questioning why Caitlin gets so much backlash. Why does Caitlin's success often feel like someone else's loss? Why is her rise so often met with resistance instead of respect? The truth is straightforward. Caitlin Clark isn't handed anything. She's earning every bit of it, one deep shot, one flashy assist, one packed crowd at a time. And Jeff knows this. That's why he speaks plainly. No drama, no shade. It's not about picking sides. It's about respecting those who change the game. And Caitlin Clark, she's doing just that. Every star reaches a turning point when fans' admiration flips to frustration, and the player who once inspired becomes the one everyone wants to stop. For Caitlin, that moment came quickly, and as Gilbert Arenas puts it, she didn't shy away from the role of villain. She embraced it.